Committee, but Dan McCallan, the Vice President, is at the meet in Columbus, so I'm his proxy here today. So I thought I would get us started. Our meet referees, Jamie Kahn, he'll tell you all the big details coming up. Tim Husson is our admin referee over in the corner, and he has, and our meet director, Henry Clark, over here will have all the big details. I did want to bring up one thing that is not going to be on Jamie's PowerPoint, but that is race analysis. Our video review is here. Bill's over here. So video review is here for race analysis. They're set up under the 3-meter diving boards. You can come by. It's a free service that USA Swimming provides to review your kids' swims, and so just when you want to do that, head over to that area under the diving boards, and Bill will be taking care of that. Otherwise, what's next, Jamie?
Scratches for tonight are due immediately.
You heard that. Scratches for tonight or for the relays tonight are due at once. Tim is over there, and scratch box is somewhere around.
Meet juries.
Meet juries. We have the eligibility jury. You have my list? Thank you. Eligibility jury, Scott Lawson, Sarah Nevada, Julie Cook is the swimmer, and the officials Terry White. I'm sorry, that was the meet jury. I'm sorry, that was the meet jury. Eligibility jury, Tim Bauer from the Woodlands, Miriam Guevara from Porter is the athlete, and Ann Lawley from Ohio is the official for the meet jury. And now I'll turn it over to our meet referee, Jamie Kahn.
First of all, thank you all for being here. We're looking forward to a tremendously fast meet, a fun meet, and that won't happen without your input. If there are things that we can do to make this meet better for you and your athletes, we absolutely want you to come up, make suggestions, and we'll do whatever we can, obviously, to be as accommodating to the athletes. Great team here from really all over the country. I will introduce them. Tim Husson is our admin referee. We have 2 assistant admin referees from Sierra Nevada, Bill Rose is Bill at the meeting, and Mark McCall from Florida. Deck referees, you already met Jim Holcomb from Border, Sandy Drake from Hawaii. And that's saying something if you can get somebody to come from Hawaii to come here for a meet. Phil Lakota from North Texas. Brian Wallen, who's en route from Virginia. Our starters, Fran Warner is our lead from Indiana. Lorna Anaya from South Texas. Peter Legault from Maryland. And Brian Walls from Gulf. Our CJs, our team lead, Bob Menk from New England. Jack Dowling from North Texas. Julie Carpenter from Oregon. Robert Scandari from Colorado. Dora Gerber from Hawaii, Ann Lawley from Ohio, and Marcus Stromberg from Minnesota. Our time trial referee for the meet will be Phil Barnes from Iowa. You'll know him because he has the Iowa accent. Anybody's ever heard him speak knows that's not the case. We'll talk quickly about the competition format for the meet. We have 8 lanes. We're going to operate 2 pools for prelims, 1 lane for finals. One pool for finals? Yeah, finals will take a long time. We'll do 1 lane at a time. 1 pool for finals. The finals pool will be the pool directly adjacent to the diving well. The other pool will be that we'll use for prelims will also be the gentleman's pool. That'll be the pool that is directly adjacent to the lobby windows. So just an FYI on that. Tonight, we will be running time finals in 1 pool, relays only. As has already been mentioned, the scratch deadline is current. As you may be aware, there is no positive check-in requirement for relays. We are asking, however, we do not want to run with empty lanes. If your team is not going to compete in relays, please get to the admin ref by the scratch deadline and make him aware of the intent not to swim so that we can either reduce the number of heats or fill the lanes. So please get to us as it relates to that. As I said, all relays are going to be swum in the final session only, and it's going to be in the order published, which will be the second fastest women's heat, then the fastest women's heat, second fastest men's heat, then fastest men's heat, and then the remaining heats will be fastest to slowest, alternating women and then men. So that may be different, so we want you to be aware, and that is what has been published, so I wanted to make sure we repeated that. For the 1650s, the 8 fastest swimmers will swim in the final session. The remainder will be seeded to finish at 4 p.m., running slowest to fastest. So we'll run 2 pools for distance. The women's and the men's pool will be run separately. Obviously, based on time restraints, we would not have been able to do it otherwise. We ask that swimmers will vacate their lane in finals at the completion of the race. We'll be doing dive overs, starts for the prelims, but not for finals. So we ask for the swimmers in prelims to stay in their lane, move to the side, remain quiet, so we can start that next heat. But finals, they will be exiting the pool between each heat. So we wanted to make sure you were aware of that. I believe that all the times have been proved except for one. So we're waiting for one individual to prove a time, if it in fact can be proven. They're all clear, all right? That's even better. Please let me or Tim Husson know if you have any swimmers with disabilities. At this point, we have not been notified of anybody that needs any accommodation, so please get to us as soon as possible if there are things that we do need to be aware of. Note, as you've heard before, times are not official at the point where you may be seeing Meet Mobile. If you see a discrepancy, come to me or to Tim with the event and heat and the lane, and we will look that up. But remember, that is not the official time that hits Meet Mobile. So you don't need to react to that, but certainly make us aware, and we will check on that. Relay exchange judging at the meet will be done using 2 individual officials to be confirmed by the timing pad. So all 3 have to show an early takeoff for an individual team to be disqualified for early takeoff in relays. The meet obviously will be run under USA Swimming rules and regulations and interpretations published by the Rules and Regs Committee, as are all USA Swimming meets. All the warm-up procedures are posted. They're available on the web. If you have any questions about that, we will also post them at the pool, so you will see time frames for warm-ups. Already mentioned flyover starts, and we'll be using those for the preliminary heats and not for finals. Circle seating. For events 200 yards or less, the fastest 3 heats will be circle seated. For heats of 400 yards or more, which will be the 500 free and the 400 IM, it'll be the final 2 heats that will be circle seated. So just be aware of that. There'll be no circle seating for time final events. As has already been mentioned, relays and relay cards. The relays will be delayed by 10 minutes after the completion of finals. So we'll have a very brief break, then we will start relays after the completion of finals. Relay cards for tonight's relays should be, and as for all relays, will be in your registration packets. So you should have those. If for some reason you don't, please see the admin rep. Please return them with the proposed names and the order to the clerk of course by 5:15 today for tonight's events. Cards for evening relays for the rest of the week on Thursday should be returned by 5:30 and Friday and Saturday 6 o'clock. In the meet notice it says an hour before the swim, so the scheduled swim. So that's the time frame, 5:30 for Thursday, 6 o'clock Friday and Saturday. Remember, the names and order can be changed with the admin ref prior to the event or that head lane timer prior to the swim. So if you do need to make a change, either in order or athletes, make sure we're aware of that prior to the swim. Very important. Scratch deadlines. We already talked about the Wednesday relay scratch. This is at the start of this meeting. For Thursday's events, the scratch box will close 15 minutes after the technical meeting. So if you have scratches for tomorrow, please get them to us immediately following the meeting. The admin refs are here. I assume the scratch box is also
Scratch
here.
box is here.
So,
And if you have any relay scratches for tonight, we haven't seeded yet, so please let us know.
for Friday and Saturday's events, 30 minutes after the start of finals. So just make us aware in the previous evening for scratches. So just, if you have scratches, make sure you get those to us. As you all know what the penalties are for failure to appear as a no-show for prelims. Under the current rules, the swimmer is out for the rest of the day unless a decision is made to pay a $200 fine, and they must positively check in for the rest of the meet each day. So just be aware of that as the no-show penalty. You do have an option, again, declared false starts need to be made again prior to the swim. So we don't want you to use that. Our preference obviously is that you can scratch them or make us aware in advance. That would be very, very much appreciated. Scratches from finals. Do not scratch from finals if you have somebody that qualifies for finals by filling out a scratch form and put it in the box. Make the admin referee aware of any scratches from finals. And if there's a medical excuse or other excuse, please make him aware of that. After the results from prelims are scrolled or announced, obviously the swimmers have 30 minutes to scratch. You can also declare an intent to scratch. If an athlete declares an intent to scratch and does not return, they will be seated. Our preference is let us know one way or the other, because obviously we will try to find out if there's, what the true intent is. But at this point, the athlete will be put back in if we get an intent but not a final scratch within 30 minutes after their last event. So just a reminder as it relates to that. You also, I'm sure, are aware that if a swimmer qualifies for one of the finals and does not show for that final, they're removed from the rest of the meet. Okay. If your swimmer places 25th through 32nd and they do not intend to swim at finals, please scratch them. The admin team will attempt to contact you if you have an athlete that scratches into finals. Obviously, that's to be based on your providing information with a good contact phone number. So they will attempt. It's still going to be posted. It's still your responsibility, but they will attempt to contact you to notify you of someone scratching into finals. If you have an alternate that is prepared to swim in a finals, they must notify the deck ref. So they need to go up to the deck ref and say, I'm the alternate for this event, I'm here to swim. We're not going to page. We're not going to wait for swimmers. So if you have an alternate that wishes to swim in finals, they should be there and have appeared to the deck ref and notified the deck ref of their appearance. For distance events at this meet, for those individuals swimming in the preliminary heats, the non-finals, we ask that you do provide your own counters. One per lane, so we don't want teams up there, but one per lane. So if you have a distance swimmer swimming in the preliminary sessions, we ask that you provide the counter for that swimmer. For swim-offs, we're going to resolve ties and possible ties for 8th, 9th, 16th, 17th, 24th, 25th, and 26th. We may also add 9th and 17th in the case of a late medical scratch. So we will contact you if we need a swim off, but those are the results that we would swim off. All results will be posted on the deck, on the wall adjacent to the building lobby. So by what we are calling the men's pool, over by that wall that is adjacent to the lobby, all results will be posted there. For finals, we'll swim C, B, and A finals in that order. A finals and the 1650-yard final session final heat will parade. So only the A heats will parade, and the final heat of the 1650s will parade. There will be no parading for any of the relays. So as such, no parading tonight. C and B finalists should report directly to the lanes. C and B directly to the lanes. A will report to the ready room, and we'll show you, Henry will show you where that ready room is. For those of you that have already been on the deck, if you've seen where the award stand is, If you just go a little further down toward that far wall, that's where the ready room is. So it's relatively close to where the athletes will be. So we're trying to make that pretty easy. We already talked about alternates. Awards will be given for the first through third places live after the events. The only exception to that would be relays. The last relay of the night, we will do those awards. The last two relays we'll do the next morning, or the next evening before finals. So tonight, the first two events, men's and women, we will give the awards right after. The last two events tonight, we will actually do that award tomorrow night before finals. So again, make sure your athletes are there or a designee. We also want the coach of the winning swimmers, or this winning team, to present the awards. So if you have a team that has won an event, please have one of your coaches there in order to do that presentation. The rest of the awards given through 8th place will be provided and given to the athletes in their baskets with the rest of their gear. So 1 through 3 on the podium, the rest will be done directly to the athlete. Time trials. Time trials are going to be available each day, not including today. Because of the timeline, we're planning on doing distance only tomorrow. If that presents a problem, come see me and we'll try to work with you. But the intent is to do time trials distance only for tomorrow. So again, get to us on that. You will sign up only for the events and the swims for that day at Clerk of Course. Clerk of Course for the meet is the classroom behind the admin area on the women's pool. So there's a glass, you see glass behind where the admin area is. There's a room behind that. That is also where the admin refs will be. If you have scratches or any changes you need to make, come to that classroom behind that admin area. The priority order for relays will be that day's events, followed by the subsequent day's events, followed by the prior day's events in event order. We will reserve the right to combine mixed events, genders, distance possibly, in order to get and maximize the number of time trials to support your athletes. You know, as we're limiting them to an hour, we want to do as many as we can get in that hour period. If there's greater demand, we will do whatever we can, again, to support you and your athletes in getting those time trials in. But you know, we do have some limitations there. And then finally, a reminder to all the athletes that the use of audio or visual recording devices, including cell phones, is not permitted in changing areas, restrooms, or locker rooms. And there's no deck changing permitted at the meet. So we ask you to help us in supporting that as we move through. That is all I have. One other comment. Sam Kendricks, who is the announcer for the meet, has asked if your swimmer would, or you could, and they have a challenging name, please get him the pronunciations. So please feel free to send them to him or come see him. He requested, and Sam is there, he requested if you email them to swimmingannouncer@gmail.com. He will have them and he will archive that, so we'll have the pronunciation of the athlete's name. I'll now turn it over to the meet director, Henry Clark.
Welcome to College Station and welcome to Texas A&M University. We haven't had a large national meet here in quite some time, and for any of you that were here in years past, you'll notice that the campus has changed. The facility, the pool is still here, but the rec center is twice the size as it was, and the town has grown tremendously. At some point, College Station will connect with Houston. So, I've been here for 25 years, and maybe the next 25 years it'll connect. So, but welcome, and it looks like we have a great meet in terms of number of swimmers and lots of teams from all over the country. Texas barbecue is definitely something that you're going to want to try to explore and enjoy. Maybe not your athletes, but it would be something that you need to do before you leave. If there's any questions about the town or anything in particular, please come into the classroom and let me know. So I generally stay in the classroom area and in the admin area, and we'll take care of things as they come. Wow. Parking is probably one of the things I need to talk about. So there's two ways to park on campus. Parking on the campus of Texas A&M University, you need to pay for parking during the work week. So that's Monday through Friday, Monday 6 a.m. through Friday 5 p.m. After 5 p.m. on Friday, parking is free on the surface lots of the campus, but never in the garage and never in the numbered spaces in front of the rec center. So the parking lot right in front of the rec center is 104. So if you get here first thing on Saturday morning, you can park in 104, okay? So the lot across the way over at Reed Arena, 102, which is the one in the front, you want to stay out of that lot during the week, but it is also open to parking on Saturday after 5 o'clock on Friday. So there's two ways. There's two ways. I'm out of order. There's two ways to park. One is just park hourly in the garage, and you go in. It'll spit out a ticket. You do your business here. On the way out, there's a kiosk up in the stairwells. You can pay before you get into your car, or you can try to pay with the credit card on the way out. Okay. The other way is to park over in the 100 lots around Reed Arena and over at Olson Field or Bluebell Park. And that you can do by filling out your registration or parking transportation account on the web. Then you're part of Texas A&M forever. So when you come back, you'll have a parking account and you can print out permits. So it's $2 an hour before 5, and it's $1 an hour after 5 in the garage. A single day permit is $5 in 100 lots. A week permit is $20 in the 100 lots. So it's a little more economical and easier to get out of if you park in 100 lots. So venue hours were 6 a.m. until in the morning until an hour after finals ends. So we'll have lanes and the pool will be available. Most teams took, or a lot of teams took advantage of yesterday and today. Lots of swimmers have come already. Jamie pointed out that the results posting will do upstairs for the spectators along the long wall, also at the back at the end of the pool at the men's end. On the wall, you'll see those show up as we go. On the kind of like in 4 corners of the facility, we'll have heat and lanes posted. Okay, so your swimmer shouldn't have to walk too far to double check their heat and lane. Hospitality. Hospitality is up in room 281. So from the pool deck, there's a stairwell that goes up the back by the 3-meter diving board. Go up, hang a left, and you'll see there's a sign pointing you towards room 281. We have, I don't know, 10 or so round tables with chairs, and I have a television set up there so with cameras on the scoreboards. So you'll see that what events are swimming, what heat's going on while you're up in room 281. Medical issues. If you're hurt, where's Ellen? Yep. And Ellen is our aquatics coordinator. If anyone is hurt on deck or needs ice, let us know. We'll take care of that. We can get you swimmers bags of ice. We can't put Band-Aids on. The lifeguards can't do that, but of course lifeguards are there to save lives. If there's any issues like a cut or headache or something like that, we have a medic staff here, and depending on how severe the incident is, we could send your swimmer or you to the medic's office on the corner here. It's to the left as you walk out the front, or they will come to the spot if there's a serious emergency. If you're going to get hurt at a swim meet, this is probably one of the best places to get hurt at, because we have quite a medical staff on site from the moment that it opens to the moment that it closes. Emergencies, I mean, that would be sort of broadcast, I guess, over the loudspeaker or over the PA system at the pool if there's a tornado or anything like that. I don't think we're expecting any bad weather. But if there was a tornado, we all go into the main locker rooms, okay? And if the men's room fills up and we can't fit any more men in the men's room, the men go in the women's locker room, and vice versa. I've been in there during tornadoes. So sometimes there's people changing in there. and you're in the wrong locker room. But the main locker rooms are the tornado site, tornado shelter in that kind of an emergency. This is a lousy picture of the campus. I don't think you can make anything out of that. But you know, the center point of the universe is Kyle Field. And so if you get your bearings with Kyle Field, you can pretty much find anything on the campus. Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't really help. Wi-Fi accounts, we have Wi-Fis. You can pick them up either in the classroom where I'll be or at the front where the ticket booth is. And if you know, 4G LTE works here, but if you want to have Wi-Fi, we have Wi-Fi accounts. Let's see. Yeah, okay. So women's pool, men's pool, okay. Upstairs is the swim vendor, so if your swimmer rips their suit, I'm sure they'll sell them a nice, expensive suit. Warm up, warm down is in the dive well. It's an 8-lane, 25-meter pool. So if your kid is swimming 10% slower than you think they should, it's because it's 25 meters. And we've had coaches yell at their kids, go faster, and they didn't know it was 25 meters. 25 meters. Then we're opening the outdoor pool, right? Okay. So we have another 6-lane, 25-yard outdoor pool. I can't reach, but it's up there where the stairwell is. You go under that, and it's to the right. Okay. Well, is that the way we go now? You go, or you could go through where the main locker rooms are and out to the right. So there's 2 ways to go to the outdoor pool. There's a new indoor 8-lane, 25-yard lap pool that was built, and that's off limits to the swimmers in the meet. Okay, that's for the rec center patrons, and that's exactly why it was built, so we can do events like this, and the university can still carry on the rec swim and so on. Hospitality room is shown up there in the yellow. It's behind the spectator area. The entrance to hospitality is right about here, and then just hang a right. So the lifeguard office you see is right off the pool. Meet operations is right here. This is where the scoring area is. The wards is here. This right in here is where the ready room is. Will be for finals. We'll parade the athletes out and then up. So on the award stand, your swimmer will have their medals there at the award stand, and our basket carriers will carry their clothes to the ready stand. So and we would like them to get dressed so they look good for the pictures and so on. 4th through 8th place, the baskets will be taken back into the ready room. We have a series of different colored baskets, so after your swimmer warms down, they'll have a chance to go back and get their stuff. They don't have to run back immediately. Okay, locker rooms. We've already had kids changing in the locker rooms in the lobby, and the restrooms in the lobby. And we've had them changing in the restrooms in the spectator area, which makes the parents nervous when there's naked people in the normal patron bathrooms. We have plenty of place for your kids to change. Let's let the parents and the officials and all the other people here use the restrooms for the restrooms, and let's use the locker rooms for the kids for the changing. So down on the deck, there's 2 small locker rooms right here, and then of course there's the 2 main locker rooms through the breezeway. Okay, so where the infractions are happening is right up there where room 281 is, where hospitality. There's 2 bathrooms up there for the spectators, and that's where the kids sometimes change. Let's not have them change there. And then in the lobby here, right where the check-in is, we have kids in there changing already. So remind your swimmers to change in the locker rooms around the pool area. Okay? Any questions for me? Yeah.
Is the athlete hospitality
Oh, yeah.
on the pool deck? Or
No. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. Athletes hospitality is at the top of the stairwell. So down by the 3-meter diving board where the arrow says hospitality, that's the direction for both athletes and coaches and officials and staff. And we were thinking about originally having it on the pool deck over here, but the deck is going to be so crowded. We wanted to put as many bleachers on the deck as we could, and that took up the area where we were going to have the swimmer hospitality. Now the place where the swimmer athlete hospitality is the original concessions area for the natatorium. It's a nice area and so on, so there's plenty of place for them to sit and relax. We'll have Gatorade, water, almonds, fruit, granola bars, I mean, on and on and on, so. Any other questions? Okay, yeah. So Saturday, there's a basketball game which starts at,
They're gonna start collecting money at 4:30, so if you are already parked at one of your parking spots, you will be fine, but starting at 4:30, they will charge you $5. So, which will already be here for the meet anyway, so just in
Yeah.
case someone's coming late, they're not gonna have any sympathy, they want money.
men's basketball game, right?
Men's basketball game, there's a women's basketball game at 2:30 on Saturday as well, but they won't be collecting money for that game.
Any other questions? Thank you. Have a great meet.
Just quickly, this is the room that we talked about. That's where you're going to scratch. That's also where time trials. So this is where you want to be if you have any of those issues, and that's where Tim and his team will be. Tim, any comments? Tim Husson, our admin rep.
I think Jamie covered everything. Just wanna, if you have scratches for tomorrow, the scratch deadline is 15 minutes after we close this meeting, so please get those scratches. We've not seated tonight's relays yet, so if you have any scratches for those late, I know the deadline was 4 o'clock, we'll still take them. And results after every session, pretty shortly after every session, we'll have them on the USA Swimming website. We have Jamie Lewis, our USA Swimming, she must have stepped out. She's here on site. We'll get her the results. She'll get them posted. We'll have the heat sheets posted for the next day, the night before, also on the USA Swimming website. So all that stuff will be available. The timelines, the pre-scratch preliminary timeline is on there on the website already. And today we also posted the timelines for finals. So you can take a look and see what the finals look like already. If you haven't checked in, make sure you check that contact list so that I have a good number so I can get a hold of you if I need to. That's all I have. Yes?
Time trials are $15, is that right?
Time trials are $15.
And you sign up by 10 o'clock or by?
But, yeah, we'll sign up by nominally 10 o'clock.
Right, it'll be first come, first serve.
Till we fill up.
Sign-ups will finish 1 hour before the end of the women's session.
Right, but it's still first come, first serve.
First come, first serve.
And that's time trial, that's
Time do they open? The start of the session.
And Phil, what time will you start?
Start of the session, after warm-up.
Okay. Yes. Oh, sorry. All right.
Yeah, good.
I just might guess, when do they start to sign up? At 9?
Yeah.
And my question is, you know, we went through this last year, but I don't think it was published anywhere, that it was only gonna be an hour. And with this generous, kind of user-friendly timeline, I know that we could use it up to an hour and a half and prevent.
We're going to see what we have, and we will, as I said in my earlier comments, we will do everything we can to accommodate, because some days we do have the time, other days we don't have the time. Tomorrow, that's why tomorrow we have extra time. That's why we're also going to move distance in tomorrow. We will try to accommodate everybody.
Time trial, distance, that will be at the end of the session, time trial session tomorrow.
It's done in the event order. So yes.
Remind me the location again?
In order to sign up, if you're looking at the pool and you're looking at the women's pool,
You're gonna have, just a quick comment, you're gonna have a huge line there at 9 o'clock to
We're-
start the meeting. Is that really when you wanna start?
I understand that. Where we may, well, you know what? The problem's going to be we're going to have scratches ahead of time as well. I'm concerned about it. What we might do is if we need to, we'll
You
move
can
it.
have somebody taking.
We can
Time
take
trials
trials
at 7
time
o'clock.
trials at 6 a.m. with the pool.
Well, the problem is we want people getting there in line at that point. What we will do is we'll discuss this. I think your point is a valid point. We'll discuss it and we'll put it online this evening. We'll just say what time we're opening. I happen to agree. I think if we could do it earlier, we ought to try to do it earlier, and we'll do that. And it's not, and we'll also determine if that is our best location because of other issues, but yes. Yeah.
I'm wondering, because it's become such a great team, we could make a statement by making that part of the deal, when we do bring relay consumers, and they do turn out to be qualifiers down the line.
Sure.
Kind of push towards that reality.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to, as I said, we're going to do everything we can to accommodate all the athletes in time trials. So we will do everything that we can, I promise you. Yes?
So we have a definite closing at 10.
Yes, that's correct. Because we have to have time in order to seed it to be able
Sure,
to
of
run.
course, I'm saying,
So, yeah.
start time is in.
Yeah, and what we'll do is we'll post it tonight. We'll meet briefly after the meeting. We'll probably know by the end of the session this evening what time it'll be. So if you want to check with Tim or me or Phil, we'll have an answer
And
for
on the
you.
web, on the US.
And we'll put it on the web, we'll post it tonight. Fair enough? Any other questions, issues, comments? One other change, and it's not a significant change. I've already talked to many of you about this. We have 31 heats of 50 frees tomorrow. I was concerned about having enough warm-up, warm-down area, especially coming right out of the IMs. As a result, we're going to take a 15-minute break on each pool before the beginning of the 50 frees for warm-ups. Only for the athletes swimming in that 50 free. The IMers, we want them to move into the diving well, but we'll open up the pool only for those competing in the 50 free. That was feedback that you all provided. I think it's great feedback, so we're going to put that in place for tomorrow. Any other questions for us? If not, again, thank you all for being here. Thanks for bringing your athletes. Any questions, comments, issues, please see any of us. Get your relay cards in.